Today I have a little bit of a show and tell video. If you watched my recent video on my most expensive trade for 2018, you would have seen that I traded a Chris Reeves Umnumzon knife plus a couple bonus things for a beautiful new HK pistol. It is the VP9 SK. And the person who I traded with, Jeff, spelled with a G, G-E-O-F-F, he had hooked me up with these as a total surprise. And I could not have a bigger smile on my face, not only when I received my new firearm, which PS was shipped from one FFL to another. When I made the first video, I said he shipped it to me, I got it. I didn't mean right to me, like to my house. Obviously, you know, firearms laws, that is not permitted. So, yeah, got the firearm and then got a separate package to me with this stuff in it, and my smile couldn't be bigger. So we have 3 GEC knives and a Smith & Sons knife on the bottom here. Now, of course, a lot of you guys are familiar with the GECs. The Smith & Sons was something totally different. I actually have seen this company, but I've only seen them make fixed blades. I did not know that they had any traditional type patterns. So very cool, classy, old-fashioned box. Doesn't hurt that my last name is actually Smith. I don't have any sons yet, maybe one day, but it just adds another layer of cool for me, I guess. Yeah, never a dull moment. So this one is the Mudbug Red Linen Micarta. This came, I think, in 3 or 4 different scale types. The Mudbug. This thing is a beautiful little lockback. I shouldn't say little, it's fairly large. Attention to detail. It's a simple knife design, but it is really, really done well. Absolutely love the way this thing feels. It reminds me very much of a sodbuster, full-size sodbuster. This is a 1095 blade. I have a cloth here, just a little bit of oil on there, so every time I touch it, I wipe it down a little. So you see Smith & Sons USA, in the reverse, the model, and 1095. But what a beautiful knife. I'm actually going to start EDCing this. I think I will EDC all 4 of these knives, but this will be the first one for sure. Just really, really cool. Super comfortable. So if you guys weren't familiar with the company, definitely check out their fixed blades. That's what I knew them for. I had no idea that they had a you know, more traditional pattern. So really, really cool. Very interesting. Of course, I know you guys want to see the GECs as well. We have rust red jig bone. I'll get that to focus. I know you can probably see it anyway, but just in case, if you've never seen these GECs, they come in these nice tubes. They're wax covered. Some of them comes with you know, pins and all kinds of stuff. I have the wax pushed down the bottom for now, just so it's easy to grab. Again, what a beautiful knife, single blade trapper. All right, see that half stop? This one also, and all 4 of these knives are in 1095. But what just a beautiful knife. Of course, this one is a slip joint, does not lock. Really something. I mean, I've always had an appreciation for traditional knives, and I believe I've said this in other videos too in the past, but like WR Case & Sons, I mean, that's where it was at for decades for me, literally, you know, 25 years, or 20, I should say 20 plus years. I thought that they were the best company ever. Now, it's not a hit on Case. I love Case. I always will. However, there are a lot of other brands out there that are hitting the mark. Queen Cutlery, I think, is just a cut above, personally, just an opinion. I mean, maybe it depends on what models you're talking about. But then you talk about GEC, or Great Eastern Cutlery, if you don't know what that stands for. They're at the top, honestly, for production, you know, type traditional knife. Obviously, there's some custom traditional knives that are made that are, you know, can't compare at all in price. But I know a lot of guys are into these, and for good reason. Very high quality. If you do want to actually, you know, EDC something like this, it's definitely worth looking into. But absolutely beautiful trapper, single blade trapper. And there is another one here with an amazing scale on there. The red jig bone is very cool. Show you this one. It's a natural canvas micarta, and it is something. Just beautiful. All right, give you a close-up on that. Same pattern, but like I said, just in a different steel. All right, this one has a sterile shield on there. Beautiful knife. Big oversized lanyard hole. If you want to throw, you know, a leather lanyard or something on there, it'd be pretty cool. But just a beautiful knife. Actually, you know what? Let's leave these out. So as I go through, you guys can see what's going on. It's really something. These blades, it's hard not to want to wipe them down each time. And then the last one, a lot of you guys will be familiar with as well. This one was a special run just for BladeHQ. And this is a boy's knife. All right, and this is in brown burlap micarta, which is even cooler in my opinion than the other natural micarta. Really something. So you can see SFO, or Special Factory something or other. Special Factory Order, I think is what that stands for. But anyway, this is a very cool design as well. Boy's knife, just basically a small little simple knife. It might be your son or grandson or, you know, nephew or something, his first knife. And that is just super, super cool looking. Absolutely beautiful. Of course, just limited to BladeHQ. I believe these sold out fairly quickly. And I also, like I said, think this is in a 1095 as well. It's not marked on the blade there, but I'm fairly certain. Just beautiful. Very, very cool knife. So there's a shot of all four knives. Just wanted to do kind of a show and tell. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are very familiar with GEC. Maybe not so much Smith & Sons. Again, mostly known for the fixed blades, not their traditional knives. But you know, some of you don't, and that's why I make these videos, you know. So if you like traditional knife patterns, let's say you have a big collection of case knives or something, or queen cutlery or something alike, you know, there's a lot of different companies out there that make, you know, traditional knives, even though it's not their main gig. Cold Steel comes to mind. They have a couple of traditional knife patterns. That's not their thing. Their thing is, you know, huge tactical knives and, you know, knives you can really beat on. But a lot of different companies have traditional patterns because they are so liked. You may not carry one, but I'm telling you, there's thousands of people out there that keep this thing living and running. There'll always be traditional knives, okay? Might not be the latest and greatest YouTube video about it, but trust me, there's a massive community of people, you know, men and women of all ages that really appreciate knives like this. So if you're that person and you never heard of Great Eastern Cutlery, trust me, you owe it to yourself to check them out, okay? If you do like case, and you do like even some of the more affordable stuff, that's the opposite side of the spectrum. Is these knives are awesome, awesome users, okay? They're also very awesome collectibles. But if you're on a tight budget and you still like knives like this, there's plenty of other brands out there that you can try on the cheap, especially if you want to try different types of traditional patterns, like Rough Rider. I'm talking $7, $8 knives. You know, if you like the pattern, you want to save up and invest in, you know, a higher quality one, GEC might be the way to go, you know, or case, maybe you prefer that. But it's just, you know, from a fit and finish perspective, blade steel choices, grinds, the whole deal, GEC is killing it. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys. Half of you guys watching already know that. The other half maybe have heard of the company before, but they are definitely killing the game as far as traditional knives go. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have a GEC knife that you carry every day, let me know down below. If you collect GECs or just in general, if you like traditional knives, let me know all about your collection in the comments. I'd love to hear it. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Take care.